So, and George Bush, I think, is a horrific, terrible, warmongering, terrible leader in the United States. He started and I just want to point one thing out to you. All of these people running for president, they all represent the status quo of American imperialism. And until we do away with this attitude of American imperialism, that we're so great, we're so better than anybody else, we will never see change. And if we do need change, but you can't have change when you think you're better than everybody else. And we Americans think we are better. And we're not. We're not. Think of what it means that we as citizens tolerate. You don't see any protests. We torture people. We Americans torture people. How can we handle that? How can we handle it? Where's our sense of indignancy over our morality? This is abomination. What have we become? We send people off to war. They kill. Their bodies are maimed. And we tell people we're going to cut your taxes. What kind of an attitude do we have? So when they tell you about change, don't hold your breath, because you're not going to see change, because it's the continuation of the same, and that is, first and foremost, the American military-industrial complex. And so when they promise you what they're going to do for education, what they're going to do for health care, what they're going to do for our gridlock, they can't do it. They can't deliver it. Because first and foremost, they're delivering the wealth and the treasure of this country to the military-industrial complex. Isn't it interesting that Dwight Eisenhower, at the end of his term, pointed out that the marriage between the military and the profit-seeking industrialists who manufactured the weapons for war, when you unite the two, this is the demise of a democracy. Does it not instruct you in some regard that not a president since has even acknowledged the problem? Not a president since. Be aware. You want peace. When I was active in the anti-Vietnam effort, I want to tell you, the single most definable group of human beings that were active in that effort was the Jewish community. You have a tradition. You have a tradition of seeking peace and justice. And all I can say is I was happy to be associated with that tradition back in the Vietnam era, and now when I see what's going on in Israel, and I see that the peace group within Israel is being subverted, I enjoy nothing better than using Israeli sources to demonstrate that there is a vibrant community. When you have 1,000 former Mossad agents, military leaders, who come forward and say, we've got to trade land for peace now. 1,000 of these leaders. And you don't read much of that in the United States. When you know that there are 500 members, young men and women in the Israeli military, who will not go to the West Bank or Gaza. They will not serve. They're prepared to die for the safety of Israel, but they will not serve as policemen in the West Bank or Gaza. That's courage. That's courage, and the government can't do anything about it. That's the kind of courage that I like and admire, and I hope you do also.